Hey everyone, ShadowRock here with your Mega News Roundup for August 9th, 2021. Today's update is going to be quite a fun one, so let's begin by jacking into the deep log and see what we got today. A while ago, Rockman X DiVE added the True Force or the Keisuke Mizuno version skins, if you prefer, for our main Maverick Hunter X. We got both the standard and the X Boost versions as selectable skins, but there's still a big one that was missing. Well, in case Copy X wasn't enough for you, X is about to join the roster of Mega Men with their own evil incarnations, in the form of the X-Kai True Force variation, or with the way they spell the letter, Ki-Kai? Oh game, please don't go Kingdom Hearts on me.
Keyblade!
But yeah, here he is. X-Kai is now in DiVE as a full-fledged permanent character. No skin this time. Sheesh, these evil doppelgangers are out of control over here. However, it is really cool to see what was conceived to be a figure at first, now making his video game debut. Well, now all we're missing is the gray Kickstarter version. Maybe a possible skin for X-Kai? Also, this is probably going to be the closest we get to X from the Mega Missions card line, so enjoy! Anyway, the lore for X-Kai here was conceived after Keisuke Mizuno wanted to make a 4th X Hunter from X2. Originally, there was going to be a 4th X Hunter in X2, that was even going to be a female character, but thanks to the bane of a lot of Mega Man ideas, cartridge space on the Super Nintendo, the 4th X Hunter had to be discarded. X-Kai will fulfill that spot then, because Mr. Mizuno thought it was kinda weird that Capcom didn't make an X doppelganger. Guess he forgot about X. Or even Copy X. Though, to be fair, those were made by Bandai and Inti Creates respectively, so I guess I get it. For the backstory then, X-Kai was supposed to be a prototype made by Dr. Wily, using the stolen blueprints of the original Mega Man of all things. I guess he was trying to make another base. However, the X-Kai project got scrapped in favor of Zero, which was already far into development. Luckily for our bad boy here, he would be found a century later by a mysterious man which some believe to be Surges from the X-Hunters, especially with the running theory that Surges was actually Wily all along. That presented the opportunity to complete X-Kai with state-of-the-art technology, making him more advanced than Mega Man X even, and becoming the 4th member of the X-Hunters, which is probably how X-Kai looks exactly like X. Unless you know Dr. Wily also got a sneak peek at X's blueprints back when Dr. Light was making him. After taking a look at our Gold Counter Hunter's animations then, complete with his promotional poses of course, the only tangible way to see how this is an improvement over X is to look at his skills. The main theme here is homing lasers everywhere. Skill 1 is the multi-chasing laser that does exactly what it says. Fills the whole screen with a bunch of lasers that chase enemies around. That might be kind of insane in PvP. What's more, if you rank this guy up, he will gain a shield for some extra iframes when using the skill. Kind of like Showtime. Skill 2 is Charge Shot Kai. Vile should definitely be scared of this one, because when the charge shot collides, it will split into multiple chasing lasers. And much like a lot of characters we've seen lately, such as Super Bass, we do see Charge Shot Kai being used twice in a row during the trailer. He's gotta have an answer to Sax after all. Charge Shot Kai can also confuse your opponents, making their horizontal movements reversed, and even heal some HP. Not too shabby. Well, I hope you enjoyed the X-Hunter lore, because they really are going all in on that theme this week. First of all, there is going to be an event stage titled X-Hunters, which is likely going to pit us against X-Kai himself as the boss. The character himself will have a 40% point bonus during the event, so you can have your X doppelganger fight your X doppelganger, in more ways than one. And man, Capcom is really nailing that theme this week, more than other events, because the featured S-rank weapon coming out with the banner this week is an X-Hunter weapon based on Violin. Arc Cracker provides a critical bonus, and if you hit a target with the weakened defense status, you can even stun them. Otherwise, it's a buster that works kind of like a boomerang, similar to the Crushed Crawfish buster. In addition, we have a new sprayer type A-rank weapon coming out this week, sporting that gold and purple color design. No other details at this moment, however. But the XKai banner will be opening up on August 11th, and you're gonna have 2 whopping weeks to get this guy if you want to, with the entire event closing up shop on August 25th. So one thing I didn't mention about XKai is that, yeah, he's mute. He doesn't have any voice clips whatsoever, kind of like Super Bass. Which makes for a segue into an announcement regarding the voices for Bass, Super Bass, Bass EXE, and Bass GS. Capcom Taiwan put out a notice saying the following: Dear players, about the setup of the voice for the following characters, the ones I just said, their voice setup has been scheduled in the winter of this year. All the other characters' voice setup were also now progressing. For the exact setup time, please stay tuned for the latest notice on the official website each week. Thank you all for your support and patience. As you know, we have quite a few characters that are mute, like CL for example, that we're still waiting for voices like a year later. The reason given is, well, COVID, the pandemic. What do you expect? But it does sound like they are making progress, and hopefully their winter time window holds true. Alright, we're pulsing out the deep blog for now, but we have a couple more updates to give you. We'll start with a quick one. Rockman-san Chapter 6 is now available for reading, if you can read Japanese that is. It's another fun chapter with Flame Man, Pharaoh Man, and Wind Man running their own restaurant. Definitely check out the link in the description below if you want to take a look at all the manga chapters so far. Now, get your PETs ready because we're jacking back into another collaboration with the Rockman EXE series. First of all, hey, remember Medabots? Explaining it loosely for anyone who doesn't remember, Medabots was a series about a group of kids customizing their own robots, or Medabots in this case, in order to Robattle with other Medabots. Kind of like how operators in the Battle Network universe would customize their NetNavis for net battles. Except Medabots plays heavily into the theme of swapping your parts for your robot, such as the arms, the head, and the legs. And by using different parts, you can augment the abilities for your robot, their stats, and all that good stuff. Medabots was definitely a series I wish I got into more because it looked pretty darn interesting when I was watching it on TV back when I was a kid in the 2000s. Now, Medabots didn't really catch on in America, but it has remained relevant to this day in Japan. And hey, what other series hit the peak of its popularity in the 2000s? That's right, Mega Man Battle Network. They even had their respective animes running around the same time. So you know what? It's about dang time they got a crossover. And I am stoked to report that yes, it has happened. The Rockman EXE series has joined the Japanese exclusive mobile title Medarots S Unlimited Nova, with their own Megabots or Medarots or whatever you prefer. It's happening! And while it is all in Japanese, if you do manage to download the game using another app or something, you can actually play the crossover event right now, as it started on August 5th. So the main draw is obviously the Megabots themselves. We have Rockman as Rock Trance, Forte as Fortate, and Roll as Heart Roll. The parts for Rockman and Forte will be available in the Gacha banner from August 5th to September 2nd. Yes, this is another Gacha game. A Gacha RPG actually. That definitely plays more like an RPG than Rockman X DiVE does. You collect your parts, your operators, put the parts together to make your own Medabot combinations, and then in the RPG-like battles, you have your Medabots running back and forth kinda like a relay race, and once they hit the finish line, they'll be given an opportunity to attack one of the opponent Medabots' parts. Targeting the head will kill them, but if you target the arms, the legs, and so on, and deal enough damage, you'll be able to disable their weapons or other abilities, reduce their speed, and all that good stuff. The different Medabots will also have their own specials that they can use if you charge it up. So going in order, Rockman will attack with the Cyber Sword and the Charge Shot, Forte has the Air Buster and Gospel Cannon, and lastly, Heart's Roll will have the Roll Arrow and an Healing skill. By the way, thanks to our own Mega Quint for giving me a rundown on how this game works so I can talk about it. He's actually recorded his own gameplay of this, which you definitely want to check out. Anyway, as for how to get Heart's Roll, you're gonna have to play the limited time Robots Battle event in order to get her parts. And yeah, the story is entirely in Japanese, so I'm sorry I don't have a translation for you, but maybe someone will soon. That said, by playing the event, you can also get 4 music tracks from the EXE series, and they picked some bangers for this one too. You got Theme of Rockman EXE, Operation, Great Battlers, my favorite, and Boundless Network. You can swap these tracks into the main gameplay by using the new music feature that was added to the game recently, which is pretty dope. Anyway, the Robots Battle event is going to go from now until August 19th, so there's about 10 more days for it by the time I'm recording this video. Meanwhile, the other stuff happening for this event includes a high-level event called the Super Invasion. You get a special collaboration medallion, and a login bonus, because why not? Yeah, this is an awesome event all around. It's just too bad the game itself is Japan only. However, you guys might recall that Rockman EXE had a collaboration with the Duel Masters series with its own mobile game last year, which was another really cool one. The interesting thing is, it turns out both the Duel Masters collaboration and the Medabots one were both collaborations that were in the back burner that was originally intended to coincide with that rumored Rockman EXE mobile game. However, no one knows what happened to the Rockman EXE mobile game. Did it get delayed? Well, obviously it got delayed, but the question is it even still in development? Well, hopefully we hear news on that front soon. But yeah, consider the Duel Masters and the Medabots collaboration to just be a remnant of what was supposed to be the giant EXE 20th anniversary celebration. But like Ochi-san has talked about on his own blog post, all of the EXE 20th anniversary stuff has pretty much been held back by COVID, which is definitely understandable. It's just a darn shame because, you know, we've seen the pandemic has affected a lot of things, and unfortunately, the Battle Network 20th anniversary celebrations was one of the victims of it. I'm sure if things had gone to plan, we'd be having a grand old time right now with the EXE series. But in the meantime, we can still enjoy the novelty of these collaboration events, check out the awesome artwork, and hey, Medabots and Battle Network are finally together. That's awesome. It's a match made in heaven. With that all said then, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. For more on the Mega Man series, stay tuned to ShadowRockZX. And since I mentioned NT Crates earlier in the video, I'm just going to put a little shameless plug here, but I actually got a chance to interview Matt Papa from NT Crates once again. We talked about a lot of NT things. I even asked him about his favorite Mega Man series and which ones he has played, which was fun to discuss. But the main meat of it is going to be the Blaster Master 03 spoiler cast that we had. We talked about a lot of interesting things about that game, so if you played through BMZ 3 already, definitely check it out because there's some enlightening stuff in there. Other than that, I'm continuing my live streams of the Japanese voice acting for the BMZ games, and of course our usual shenanigans on the live streams and all that. Lastly, I want to thank all of you who support the channel, play nicely in the comments, including our channel members. Like our GA class supporters, LML123, Chaos Bonkai, Zero Scarlet, Adrian Cauldron, Vince Crystals, Rose Maverick Saiyan, Rico Syndrome, and Austin Buford. Really appreciate that, guys, and I will see you in this week's Rockman X DiVE stream on Wednesday, and more. Until then, rock on, and have yourselves a great day or night.